1, 2, 3, FCA!
So we continue to look at takedowns. We're in my super regular collar and elbow position. I like this setup, and from here a lot of the times I'm breaking grips and going for stuff. As I've said a couple of times, when I am in this position, the downside to this position is everything that's good for me is good for him. Right? It's a complete mirror image. Particularly if I want to try and get in and under him, I want to shoot on his legs. This arm here just is a really effective stiff arm. I cannot shoot on his legs without first breaking grips. But there is a move that I could do, and I like to do this when the other guy's being reasonably defensive, which is like 99% of the time in a jiu-jitsu match. So we're both in this kind of butt out, anyone that loves judo's throwing up watching it position. From here, I am just going to use my heaviness here, and I am just going to drop to my knees. So my weight just drops down, and I'm heavy on this hand. This hand here drops to the ground, cups the heel into an ankle pick. And from here, I can step up and drive him to the ground. Hit pass and go for the pass. Okay? It is very important I am dropping straight down. If I pull backwards like I would with one of my snap downs, I'm going to end up too far away and I can't reach his foot. If I come down and get in close like I would for a single, I'm not in the right position for this. This would be more like a low single. And what's going to happen, he's stiff arming me and keeping me away. So that's why I am literally just dropping straight down. I reach, I grab this. You saw the first time I did it, he fell down. Sometimes I'm going to step up and he stays up. That's okay. I've got a myriad of ways I could take him down. Easiest one, just going to step and kick this leg out. From there again, I can get into my pass position. Now what might happen when I go for this, as I drop, he steps this right foot back. So he steps back, I can't reach it. This is very easy. All I'm going to do is go for a cross grip. For this one, I don't stand up because I'm in my own way. I just pull, and you can see he lands perfectly, rotating forward. So that's a very easy ankle pick. The other situation that I will set this up from is, if I've got this guy thinking I'm going to pull guard, can't think why he'd think that, I never pull guard. I've got him thinking I'm going to step up to pull guard. His weight is going to go backwards to brace against that. So I literally just dummy this a little bit. He reacts, I drop, I plant him. So I can fake the guard pull to set this technique up. Now on the ground, we've been looking at open guard. Particular open guard that I absolutely love because I got these long legs is my butterfly guard. So for the butterfly guard, if I stay straight in front of him, and he leans into me and I rock back, I can kick him up and close my guard pretty nicely. But that's pretty much all that's going to work for, is elevating his hips. If I want to sweep him, this is going to rely on me getting off the center line. So I'm setting up sitting guard with my butt behind my shoulders. First thing I'm going to look for is an underhook. So I am going to underhook, and I'm going to get off the center line. Here's the center line here. I have got way off the center line. I'm looking for his far hip. I'm driving in this direction. Then I control over this arm and pull it into me. So now what I am going to do is I'm going to fall my head down towards my knee and elevate here, which allows me to sit through into my really nice modified scarf hold. The position without him on top of me, I'm here, I fall to the side, and then I can elevate really high off of that foot. Now, I'm swimming for this underhook. He knows he doesn't want to give me an underhook. He's going to pummel this arm back through. This happens a lot. Now, at this point, with my double overs, I'm going to swim through and I'm going to join my hands together. And I'm going to crush my elbows together. So I'm crushing his elbows together, which locks his shoulders. And I've got a beautiful set of levers now. So as I turn off the center line and turn him, you can see he is twisted over. As I come up here, it's very important. He has an underhook. I have to pummel for the underhook as I come up. Otherwise, he's going to have a straight route to my back. Now, something that's fun to do off of this, I've got this underhook he pummels. I squeeze these arms together. Look, I'm actually going to reach over and lock to that far arm. I punch him over here. Now, instead of swimming for the underhook, I give him a little bit of space. He turns to his knees, which allows me to set up into my bravo, my das, and choke him out there. So I can use that movement. I give him the space to turn into and use that to attack him. I have a few other sneaky tricks that I could go for. So, as I am going here, and I'm working out to the side, and I am trying to control this arm, sometimes he braces out with that arm. He's got his arm braced out here, so I now can't take him over that way. But this lock on this arm, because his weight's going that way, I can now come up inside his head and start attacking this arm. My left foot's going to go to his hip, my right foot's going to step over, knee goes up to his shoulder here. I slide out with my neck until I'm nicely controlling here, then just a little bit of pressure for a nice inverted arm lock. If I lose this arm, I'm right here to take his back. So if I scooch too far, it's not the end of the world, I have his back. Now, him being wise to this, I'm starting to work here. I come out, I'm controlling this arm. When he breaks this grip, I plant that, the second he breaks this grip, because my pressure's going this way, that hand is gonna go to the ground. If his hand doesn't go to the ground, I can still sweep him over. So he is using that as a brace. I'm gonna put my right foot on his leg to give myself a bit of a lift, kick over the top, come for my triangle. Now, the final thing that we started working on, and this is maybe a little bit more for no-gi, though there's some fun stuff to do, particularly at the higher belts. If I'm here, and I'm working, and I'm trying to get up here, and I'm trying to lift, I've got all this space under here, because he started bracing out. I can down roll underneath here, come out behind him. There's a whole lot of ways I can attack legs, or even just at the basic, I've inverted the position and come out on top. So that basic butterfly guard position, one final option I always have, if I'm here, I want to have my head below him. Anytime I'm looking for sweeps and things, I want to be below him. If he gets low and he shows me the top of his head, I can go straight into guillotines or into other kinds of loop chokes. So if he gets low and starts to drive, I'm just going to make some space with my butt, tuck him in here, and come into my choke game. Final situation that we looked at is sometimes this guy really doesn't want to engage. We're on the ground. All of these sweeps and attacks really rely on the energy that he's giving me. So sometimes I get this situation where the guy's wary, he's just kind of sitting there. So he's waiting to see what I do and he's going to react. If I move too far in any one direction, he's going to use that energy against me. But because I've got this basic combat-based stance, I could drive up and into him. So I drive up and into him. If he falls over backwards, I just follow him up and I get my sweep point. But what normally happens is he drives back into me, and that gives me the energy I need for the sweep. And I'm driving back here, this drive. That's the drive. We do it a lot in the warm-ups. I'm here, I drive up and into him, he drives back into me, and that goes into my sweep. So that's the kind of the basic butterfly guard game that we play here. There's obviously a lot of other attacks and options that can come off this, a lot of variations on how you control the arm, but just with those basics, play around with them, and you've got a pretty solid open guard attack. Thanks for helping me out. Good training.
Thank you.